The former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah is back in the poll fray after reconsidering his decision to stay away. And in campaign mode, the NC Vice President is sparking one political controversy after the other. In the latest, he has said that the execution of Afzal Guru, convicted in the 2001 Parliament attack, did not serve any purpose. He said that the Jammu and Kashmir government would not have granted approval for the same if it was asked for it.
See, my unfortunate thing was that the J&K government had nothing to do with Afzal Guru's execution. Otherwise, you would have had to do it with the permission of the state government, which I can tell you in no uncertain terms would not have been forthcoming.
Why?
It wouldn't have. We wouldn't have done it. I don't believe that any purpose was served by executing him. I don't.
Now remember, viewers, Afzal Guru was convicted for aiding and abetting the 5 terrorists who stormed the Indian Parliament on the 13th of December in 2001. The attackers were killed in the encounter with the security forces, and Afzal Guru's role in providing logistical support to the attackers was a key factor in his conviction. 9 people were killed in that dastardly attack, and now reacting to Omar Abdullah's statement, the BJP has said that Afzal Guru's hanging was a necessary step towards delivering justice.
So I think Mr. Abdullah, that yes, it has served, the hanging of Afzal Guru has served, it has brought justice to the people of Jammu and Kashmir who has been a victim of terrorism, and those people who has been killed in the past by these terrorists and their supporters. Anyone who is linked with the terrorism, indirectly or directly, he should be hanged till death, and there should be no mercy towards any kind of terrorism. So by saying that it will not yield anything, yes, indeed it will yield the results. It will brought the justice to those people, the families who have been victim of terrorism.
The Congress party, which is contesting the Jammu and Kashmir polls in alliance with the National Conference, has distanced itself from Abdullah's remark. But the PDP, on the other hand, has agreed.
नहीं, वो ठीक कह रहे हैं। फांसी से आप सोच को मार नहीं सकते हैं ना, जेलों में बंद करने से आप सोच को नहीं मार सकते हैं। और डेमोक्रेसी में बैटल ऑफ आइडियाज़ है, सोच को बातचीत से हल किया जा सकता है। अगर आपकी सोच और मेरी सोच में फ़र्क है, यही तो हमारी डेमोक्रेसी की सबसे बड़ी ब्यूटी है। ये होना चाहिए, मगर उसको बातचीत से हैंडल करना चाहिए। वो तो सही बात, बिल्कुल 100% करेक्ट है। उन्होंने तो फांसियाँ दिलवाई, मकबूल भट्ट की हो या किसी और की, उन्होंने दिलवाई, मगर ठीक है, देर आए दुरुस्त आए। वो समझते हैं कि बातचीत ही एक रास्ता है।
मैं कोई बयान दूंगा, फिर आप मेरे बारे में किसी और से पूछेंगे कि इन बयानों का समर्थन देना चाहिए नहीं देना चाहिए।
Well, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Saturday has accused the National Conference and Congress alliance of attempting to destabilize Jammu and Kashmir by seeking the release of separatists and terrorist sympathizers. Addressing a public rally in Jammu ahead of the upcoming assembly elections, Amit Shah took a strong stance against what he described as efforts to reignite terrorism in the region.
मोदी जी की सरकार आई, आतंकवाद को पैसा देने वालों पर तबाही आई, जेल में डाल दिए। वो कहते हैं फिर से एलओसी का ट्रेड हम शुरू करेंगे। एलओसी का ट्रेड शुरू होगा तो उसका मुनाफा किसके पास जाएगा? जोर से बोलो। उनका मुनाफा सीधा आतंक के काम में होगा। ये करना चाहिए क्या? आप सहमत हो क्या? वो कहते हैं हम पाकिस्तान से बात करेंगे। आज मैं कहकर जाता हूं, जब तक शांति नहीं होती, पाकिस्तान से कोई बात नहीं होगी। जब से देश आजाद हुआ, पहली बार जम्मू कश्मीर का मतदाता 2 झंडे नहीं, एक तिरंगे के नीचे अपना मतदान करेगा। पहली बार 2 संविधान नहीं, भारत के संविधान जिसको बाबा साहेब आम्बेडकर ने बनाया, इसके नीचे हमारा वोटिंग होने जा रहा है। और पहली बार अभी इस पूरे जम्मू कश्मीर सूबे में कभी प्रधानमंत्री नहीं बैठ सकता, प्रधानमंत्री एक ही होता है जो कश्मीर से कन्याकुमारी की जनता जिसको चुन कर भेजती है, और वो हमारे प्रिय नेता।
In fact, we have a response coming in from Omar Abdullah after Amit Shah's attack. Listen in.
और मैंने इसके बारे में फिर गौर किया नहीं, लेकिन जब ये असेंबली के इलेक्शन आए, खबर आनी शुरू हुई कि जिस आदमी के कागज वहां जैनपुरा शुपैया में नामंजूर हुए वो यहां आएगा। फिर पता चला कि उसके कागज वहां नामंजूर क्यों हुए, कि उसको कहा गया ना आपको हमने यहां से इलेक्शन नहीं लड़वाना है, आपको हमने उमर अब्दुल्ला के खिलाफ मैदान में उतारना है। और फिर मैंने अपने साथियों से मजहब को कमजोर करने के लिए, अरे बीजेपी ने साफ कहा कि अगर हमें सीटों की कमी पड़ेगी हम इन आजाद उम्मीदवारों के साथ हुकूमत बनाएंगे। उसका मतलब यही है कि आजाद उम्मीदवार और बीजेपी में कोई फर्क नहीं है। और ये वो बीजेपी है जिसके बारे में शौकत साहब ने कहा, क्या भूल जाएं बाकी मुल्क में मुसलमानों का हाल, जिस तरह यूपी में मस्जिदों पे, दरगाहों पे, हमारे मदरसों पे ताले लगाए जा रहे हैं, जहां नमाज की इजाजत नहीं, जहां जुमा को सजदा करते हुए नमाजी को लात मारते हैं पुलिस वाले, जहां कर्नाटक के स्कूल और कॉलेजों में हमारी बहनों को, बच्चियों को पहले कहा जाता है हिजाब उतारो फिर तालीम हासिल करो, जहां यूपी में और इन बाकी जगहों में दुकानदारों को कहा जाता है कि दुकान के बाहर मालिक का नाम लिखो।
So the fear-mongering continues. This is Omar Abdullah while he was campaigning. My colleague Pradeep Datta joins us on the broadcast. Pradeep, Omar Abdullah already hitting controversy over several statements that he has been making. He has been fear-mongering as well. Yesterday, he also spoke about Afzal Guru saying the execution did not bring about anything. And now you have him yet again fear-mongering.
So you have to understand one thing, why Omar Abdullah is resorting to fear-mongering, because he has already tasted defeat during the Lok Sabha election. It was because of the independent candidate, Engineer Rashid, who is jailed. And this time also when he has come to know that Sarjan Barkati, whose already candidature has been not been accepted by the Election Commission of India, maybe he will be now filing papers from Bijbihara constituency. So he feels that maybe this time also he's going to lose. That's one of the reasons he's trying to polarize the atmosphere. He's trying to create an impression that all these independents are B team of BJP, and then he's trying to hit out at the BJP, trying to resort to fear-mongering, saying that how BJP has been putting locks on the madrasas and mosques in different parts of UP, and how the Muslim girls are not allowed hijab. So what exactly he's trying to, that's what actually he's trying to do. But Amit Shah, while he was addressing his karyakartas here, he said that what we have achieved because of the abrogation of Article 370 is what we had promised. One Vadan, one Pradhan, one Nishan. That means there will be one constitution, one tricolor, and there will be no other flag, and there will be only one prime minister and one constitution. So he said now this is going to be a historic occasion. For the first time that elections will be held under one tricolor. There will be no state flag. There will be one constitution, that is Indian constitution, and only one prime minister, and that is our dear prime minister, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So no other prime minister can ever be there in Jammu and Kashmir. It will only be chief minister whenever the government will be formed. And he said they are trying to once again bring terror. If you are going to elect this NC Congress alliance, that means the terrorism is going to follow, because they are supporting all those elements. They want those separatists to be released. They want the trade to be restored.
Look at the appeals that are going out by Omar Abdullah, fear-mongering, as he says that look at what's happening in the rest of the country, and he mentions Karnataka as well as Uttar Pradesh as well.